You check your dog in the first week. You got to understand, you have a dog that at the minimum age to begin formal training is 6 months. So he's 6 months old. He's already kind of starting to form his own opinions of how people are, and that's through you as the owner. He's kind of starting to learn how to work people a little bit and get his way. And most dogs at that age are mentally, they're ready to learn. You know, they're ready to go through a process to learn. So we get that dog in. You got to understand, we're pulling him from his normal life that he's already become accustomed to the first 6 months of his life, and then he's coming into our world, so to speak. He's coming into a kennel. There's other dogs around. There's constant activity out here. We got to get him used to that. You got to give him about 3 or 4 days of warm-up period. Let him come in here. We'll put him on the long line just to kind of just give him the place. You know, just let him run around. All the distractions out of the way the first couple of days. Then after you get that out of the way, which can take a day or it can take 2 or 3 days, we're going to start evaluating that dog on retrieving. We're going to, you know, like I said, we're going to go back to those 3 objects. We'll take those 3 objects and we'll evaluate them. What kind of retriever do I got? That's all I care about. I mean, does he love it? Does he love it on land no matter what I throw? Does he love it on water no matter what I throw? Does he love both? At the same time, that dog's trying to figure out what's going on in his life, like, why am I here? That's what we're doing to that dog. We're trying to figure out what kind of personality we have. We're just trying to figure out that first week, what do I got here? You know, what kind of personality am I dealing with here? It's all based around the retrieving, you know, I mean, I just want to see that dog go. Once we get to that point, what we want to do then is just like, okay, I know all I need to know right now about this dog's personality is a work ethic. After the first week of evaluation, we go right into obedience. We're going to teach that dog how to heel, how to sit, how to stay, how to kennel up, onto or into. We're going to incorporate all that in. And then what we have, about the tail end of the first month, we're going to start bringing the retrieving back in, and we're going to make sure that that dog is actually obeying our commands that he's just learned how to do, you know, with the retrieve. So no more keep away, no more, you know, hey, I'm going to run the other way with it, because all that's non-existent now, or it should be, because we've taught this dog obedience. So that's where we want to be at the end of the first month. You know, we're going to gunshot test that dog at the end of the first 30 days, make sure we're good to go with that. We go right into what I feel is probably one of the most important parts of the whole deal, but this is the force fetch stage. You know, we're teaching this dog how to hold and fetch on command. Now, we reserve the whole second month for this. You know, he's going to go through a force program. We try to have as much fun as we can in this part of the program, but we're literally teaching this dog how to hold and fetch on command. And there's different methods. You know, everybody's heard of the ear pinch, everybody's heard of the toe pinch method. I mean, that's just kind of part of it. You know, that's just the stage that we got to go through. Once we get through that, we'll do the third month, which is, now we're going to steady them up. We're going to make them sit there until they hear their name. We're going to do multiple retrieves. We're going to start building their memory. We're going to do diversions, and that's another thing where force fetch is very important. Where it's just not going to happen unless he's force fetched. We go into multiples, like I said, and we build their memory up. We stretch the marks out. This is also the stage where we bring the shotgun back into play. I'm actually going to give the shotgun to my bird boy whenever we start extending the marks out and teach them how to go beyond that 25-yard barrier, so to speak, you know, where you can't. That's the furthest you can throw a hand-thrown bumper, you know. Once we get to that point, we're actually going to come in with the gun until the bird boy's standing right next to us. And then he's going to be throwing the bird and shooting, and the gun's going to be going off right next to him. Once we get that dog steady to that point, I'm going to take the gun, and that's going to be the first time that dog is actually going to get to do a mark off the gun barrel. And once we get to that point, we stay with that. I mean, we just, from that point on, we go into the fourth month, and I like to call that month kind of a tied all together month. That's when we're duck calling around them. They're swimming through decoys. They're getting diversions. They're getting doubles. You know, we're actually standing out in the water with them, kicking the water. they're surrounded by water in certain scenarios where they got to jump from the stand directly into the water, just like a real duck hunt. We throw all this at them, and the 4th month is kind of when we tie everything that we've taught in stages. We tie it all together, and then hopefully what we want to see there is a dog that's ready to hunt by the end of the program.